Welcome to Freethinkers Fireside, where we put the human in humanness one cozy chat at a time. My name is Helen, also known as Hell's Bells. I just put a piece of bread and cheese in my mouth as I was trying to snap before this, the show started, and so I'm better now. Anyway, so it is time to do my show. Also, I want to remind everybody that we are doing a fundraiser for Black non-believers. If you would like to help us, see this thing? You're going to click on the QR code right there. Do it. And you're going to give money to Black non-believers so it can still do all the amazing things that they do. And then you're going to go to blacknonbelievers.org. The link is in my doobly-doo. You're going to do that. And then you're going to buy tickets to go to the Revival Recent, which is happening the weekend of June 12th to the 14th in Atlanta. And I'll play a video later to talk more about that. For now, I'm going to, and also, happy Pride, everybody. I prideified my background. So anyway, so now, showtime. Let's say hi to Cull. Hi, Cull. How are you doing? Hi. I'm so excited you're here. Yay.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So, please introduce yourself to the interwebs.
I am Cull. I've been doing call screening for some of the atheist community call-in shows for a while. I've been active in a couple of Discord groups, but other than that, I just I fuss behind the scenes to do silly things on shows. But yeah, I decided that certain things have been happening in the community, and I feel like I can talk about them. So, I'm putting out feelers, and you were nice enough to volunteer your time to speak to me.
So. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
there's nothing going on at all. Been happening. Nothing at all has been happening since December.
Yeah, no, the time stopped. I actually want to go back further to like last November, and just stop time there. I think that'd be great. So,
Yeah, I'm about November. I was like, this is good. We're in a good place, and then it.
Yeah, so, it's almost like there was an election that changed the course of history.
I know. Listen, I keep saying I'm going to say this, and I can't prove this. Excuse you, Dade. Sorry, I can't prove that. Excuse you, Dave. I can prove that, but I can't. So my theory is that CERN keeps doing these particle accelerations and stuff, and because they're messing with like space time, it's pushed us into the bad universe.
Did we like fall through a wormhole into it?
I think so. I think we fell through one, but we didn't notice because
okay,
of
good. So I need to pay attention to dust on bookshelves then.
Yes,
so
exactly.
If anyone's sending me a message, just check
I told you anything. And also, if you get Morse code in your watch.
Yep. Any signs of? In fairness, given like where I've been spending a lot of my time online in like the atheist community and stuff, like all these call-in shows, like I'm fairly certain I've heard people make arguments about watches being so perfect that the universe must be designed. So
really?
Yeah.
Watches are
well, it's the watchmaker. It's the watchmaker analogy.
Oh, the watchmaker argument. I was like, a perfect watch, and I was like, is there a perfect watch? I'm like, if it tells time, is it perfect? Like I think it's pretty good if it's telling the correct time.
It has to be like atomic time now, though, right? Like
right, yeah,
to be super accurate. So
yeah, it's super. Yeah, I listened to a podcast about that, how that came about. Yeah, it was really interesting. I fall into like these weird sort of like fun fact shit, and I don't ask me what podcast it was a while ago, but it was basically the science behind how they did atomic time, and what,
Nice.
like a bunch of like military and a bunch of different things, like different organizations and countries got together to like get this thing done. So they were like 100% accurate time, and it was really important for like GPS satellites and
Yeah.
and stuff. So
Yeah. No, those rabbit holes open up every so often. My Nika, my wife, does like, what was the course you studied?
Oh my god. Nuclear engineering.
Nuclear engineering.
nice.
She just sat in on a course. She was telling me about it for like 3 weeks, and she's just like, all of their lectures are online, and you can just do this course and you can just learn it. And she's like, just for like ADHD fixations, right? That's how they work.
Yeah.
So
like this is the thing, like the great courses is like the best thing ever, because like you just I'm like, sure, I'll watch a course series on like culinary interests of 18th century France.
yeah.
Sure. Like,
but then you'll find a YouTube channel where someone's making that food. And
right.
like,
Tasting History. You should watch that channel. It is really cool because it also goes into like there's a whole thing. Okay, we'll get to the topic in a minute, guys. Okay, actually, this will relate to this will relate to the topic because I'll tell you. So back in England, like when they started doing more of like every day having available food for you to buy, right? And the big thing was bread. And old timey bakers in England, when I learned about the breakfast roll that like people were working like 22 hours a day, got like 4 hours of sleep, and then their one night off was Saturday night. And they had to go, like they had that time off because everybody was en masse on Sunday morning. So the rolls didn't have to be ready by every time everybody was getting up and going to work. And I'm like, okay, we do this like still kind of, we do have 24 hours, but we also have modern conveniences. These people didn't. And they're just sweating into the bread. And they got very little sleep. And this is when they started using like the lye and like dust and like sawdust in the food to get more of it out because supply and demand.
It was like the worker food. Yeah, it was like as cheap as it could be. Yeah.
Which is wild that people were like somebody had to write a newspaper article that maybe we don't have rolls at 6 o'clock in the morning so people can go home and sleep and have lives.
Yeah. So was the Great Fire of London? Was the Great Fire of London a revolution? Then was this just a baker who'd been overworked who rebelled?
That's right. It's what's happening. People burned out warehouses. They're just like, I'm over industrialization. Thank you very much.
Yep. Yeah.
What? So,
I mean, worker action. It gets things done.
Exactly. It does. So those are like when the rabbit holes I fell down, but like that, like, so like I am going to bring this back to the because like that's a trauma where you don't have a life. Like you're basically just with your coworkers making bread all the time in the worst conditions ever. Like there's not a lot of ventilation except for smoke. Like the chimneys are constantly getting clogged and it like this, like I was like, oh my god, like that sounds absolutely terrible. So so you can have work trauma.
I saw something the other day about dairy workers in Vermont, I think it was. And it's it's people who are here without documentation, and so they're not got proper representation, they're not really getting paid well, and apparently in some of these places they're just sleeping in the dairy. They just have like a curtain with a bed behind it. So they're constantly surrounded by the cows and the machinery and everything else. And it's like, that's traumatizing. Like that is,
inhumane. That is inhumane conditions.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
Oh, and I was watching a thing about like with like child migrants because they have to be with their families and their families are undocumented and they're working in fields, picking like fucking peaches or whatever. And they have their kids with there and their kids work.
Yeah.
Because that's all you can do. And I'm like, they're not going to school, and I'm like if they're getting any education, is only to learn English. Like it's it's not any, but even still, you might not even learn that.
Yeah.
And a lot of the kids learn by just being around Americans when they're really young, and then they start picking it up because it's just the default language. And then they end up teaching their parents how to speak Spanish.
Yeah,
I mean,
I grew up
like,
in
it's really
I grew up in
interesting.
London, where it's like very multicultural and stuff, and so like loads of languages. And so like I have friends who didn't speak English until they were like 6 or whatever, because they like learned it through their first 2 years of school. And then there's like I the fact that we had some protections against that in the UK through Brexit, because like we weren't getting entire families crossing a border together. It was mostly like migrant workers coming in. And then they would work fields. They would do all of like the field work and the like picking fruit and everything that we need, and not get paid a fair wage because they were paid through the nation they came from. So they were getting like Poland minimum wages or German minimum wages, or because they were getting paid through an agency.
Right.
But like, yeah, there's no protections here for like, unless you're actually doing things where the government are happy to accept migrants and ensuring that migrant children are put into education, like local education where they're living, then yeah, of course they're going to end up staying with their parents, because their parents don't know where is safe for their kids to go. Like, the best thing for these children is to stay with their parents, and if that means in the field, then it makes sense that they'd help working. Like, if I was a child hanging out in a field, I'd want to do it.
It's like your dad having a family business and you're working at the family business, but unfortunately, though, is that you're not going to get successful. You're like the farmer isn't going to go, well, I'm going to make you my new man, public relations manager, or my accountant or whatever. Like, no, that's not going to happen. So, and that's the thing. Like just knowing like there's the modern idea of like being capitalist slaves, because that's what we are. Like we need money to afford goods and services and to stay alive. So it's frustrating, I think, especially, and I think a lot of what we're seeing because of the election is a lot of trauma. It's like we already knew things were bad, and now this is what late stage capitalism being ruled by oligarchs looks like, and everybody thought it happened over there. It happens, in Russia and things like that. But then all of a sudden we're friends with Russia, and I'm like, did we hate Russia? Like, we don't like them because Putin's like the worst.
No, it's Eurasia we've always been at war with, right?
Yeah. So I was wondering, because we wanted to talk about this topic. We're now on topic, guys. We got there. Why did you want to talk about trauma?
So it's something that's like I said, I've seen a lot of comments recently on a lot of different channels where people are saying get trauma informed while not being trauma informed. And as someone who has been in therapy for my trauma for the longest time, and 2, someone who has actually done work in this area, like I have volunteered I volunteered for Recovering from Religion, and I was going through the process to be one of the helpline agents. And then there was an election that like my own health became like I needed to work on me. I was traumatized. I recognized what was about to happen when that election went the way it did, and I wasn't able to go ahead and do that work. But I have gone through all of the resources that were given to me. I've said this elsewhere, like the resources that are on the RFR website, I have used multiple times for multiple people outside of this community. And I just wanted to, I don't use my voice often. Like I will in smaller communities, like I say, Discord spaces and stuff like that. But seeing people say get trauma informed without giving any of the information that's necessary to get trauma informed just seems lazy and silly and broken. Like, if you're going to tell people that, then what does it mean even to be trauma informed, right?
Like, are you offering resources? Are you offering like where you're offering like book suggestions or like, podcasts to listen to? Like, are you doing that where you're getting actually vetted information where like get trauma informed, because this is important for you to be informed on, even if you may not, like, if you don't suffer from PTSD, fine, but it might be good to learn about like what PTSD looks like, and your friends and family members, and because you're going to come across it, you should know what you're looking at. And that's what being trauma informed is. You're educated on different types of trauma, how it manifests, how to, what is best for someone that's dealing with someone like that, but vetted by professionals that study this for a living. I have enough education and done enough therapy that I can talk about this confidently.
This is the thing too, is like the first thing I always do whenever someone starts talking to me about their like the problems that they're going through, whatever they are, in any kind of like this is something deeply personal to this person and it's a struggle there, I always say, are you in therapy? Like, this sounds like an excellent conversation to have with a therapist. And then like I'll still talk to them and I'll still have that conversation, but I'm not going to offer like I am a lay person in this. I've done courses in it, but like I'm not teaching it. Like, I've done courses to help myself in my therapy, and like you say, to recognize it in others. Like, people are going to panic in situations, and how do I deal with that? Because I'm an anxious person, and I don't want to go into my trauma responses when someone else is going through theirs. Instead, I want to be able to recognize what they're going through, and like through learning this, through recognizing this one in myself, and then like I say, there are so many resources. I want to plug Ember's video, I think, that's coming.
Yes, a really good video.
I
have to add it to my actually, if BetterThanEmber link is in my doobly-doo, and it's over there. So go over there. So go to her go to Ember's website, because she's got so much. That's another great resource for people on content creators from and a bunch of other like really good orgs and places that you can get support, find community, all that stuff. So BetterThanEmber.com, I think. So go over there. It's also in the doobly-doo on top of the Recovering from Religion website. Which is also their resource page. Shout out David Teachout, who does the resourcing at Recovering from Religion. So shout out David. I know everybody.
So, I mean, this is the thing. Like,
and David is a like licensed therapist. So he's doing the vetting. So
like I have thought about doing like counseling and stuff before, because again, there's courses that you can do to become, like, it's not licensed, but like you can do like it's not therapy, it's counseling, right? It's
I've done group counseling. I've been trained in group counseling, but I don't have it like an official degree. It's just basically facilitating conversation and trying to recognize where people are, and and having enough education that you can respond back and go, I think this might be, something you want to explore with your therapist, because, it seems like you're explaining this, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. And like, that's, I think like there's a part of me that would love to do that, but then there's a part of me that, like I said, for me, it's CPTSD. Like I have PTSD extended out over multiple instances, over multiple years. And it's only like I can only really tell when I'm healthy, and I can't tell when I'm not. And so it's like there are these times where I want to go. I'm like, okay, now is the time to do the counseling course. Now is the time. And then like I'll have a little slump or whatever, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm not hearing about other people's trauma once a week
right now.
Like, like I'm really glad that like this isn't a thing that I'm doing. Like I said, this was going through the process of like the helpline agent for RFR, and recognizing like that it's really useful to have the trigger point of that November like election to just be like, okay, I know where things started going wrong. I was doing great, like I could see the up curve of like getting better, and then something happens, and like this is the thing with trauma, right? Like maybe it's not just with trauma, maybe it's specifically the complex nature of my PTSD, but like everything comes at once. Like it's not as simple as like there's an yeah, right. But like there's not this incident.
Welcome to the ADHD brain on trauma.
Yeah. Oh god, is it that? Is it also that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, all of these traumas at once
we experiencing trauma differently than other people do. Like neurotypical people, because we already have a brain that is hardwired to take a lot of information in at once, and also is flipping the channels all the time. So so the way that we compartmentalize trauma might look different, and how we deal with it also too, because we always relate things, and we will bounce like, well, this reminds me of this and this reminds me of that, so that makes me think of my trauma because it's related to this situation, because that person like this band or whatever, and it's never like it everything has a layer to it, just because the way that we take in information. So and so I always say, like, if you have like autism and ADHD, like I do, and have a lot of trauma, you will go, oh, look at all the dots. And then, but also too, like the way that I think about my trauma too leads into like my deep interest in art and music and complex storytelling, and because like everything to me exists in a narrative. And I have to put things together because I'm very analytical, and I like to create a story, so I can make sense of it. That's the way, my brain works.
Yeah.
And it relates to other things that will lead me down other paths. It's a web.
Yeah, I can see that. I was thinking like, I'm like close. I don't know if I have hyperphantasia or if I'm just very close to like that thing, but like I get not like a web, but like I'll get like visual memory that like every so often is like augmented reality, where I'm like, oh no, I can see the overlay of my room from my childhood. Like I can see it. Oh no, it's coming. The trauma's coming.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Now I have to go down this road. Yeah, like I have like I have this thing with very tall grass that I'm like, oh okay, here we go.
Is it very tall grass, or were you very small?
What?
Was it very tall grass, or were you very small?
It was very tall grass because I was laying down, and and there was like a lot of grass around, and so I don't like to lay in tall grass. Like it's just no. Also, like I know what my triggers are, because like when you do the work, you learn like this isn't safe for me. This isn't safe for me. I recommend also shout out to Glinda Jordan from Recovering from Religion. Does the Dog Die? So it's a website and it's an app that you can download, and if there's a movie or TV show and there's a particular trigger that you want to avoid, it will tell you not to watch. Like this is the content, I like one movie I saw, which I highly recommend. You Are Not Alone. It is on Amazon. I can't remember where the director's from, but it explores this. It's a body horror movie, but it's really philosophical and goes into gender and identity, and like, because the witch can take on somebody else's skin and experience life, what it is to be like a man, a woman, a child, like goes through these different, an animal, like goes through these different consciousness, and it's really interesting to me. And there was like a scene, and then the website was like, yeah, but it is this, but it turns it around. So like she like fights back. So it's like, okay, I can do that. But if it's like like, no, don't watch this. Like Blue Velvet, no, fuck that movie. that movie's fucked. But for some reason it's been playing in my brain lately. So that's probably a journey in my brain. Not to watch the movie, but I'll probably have to study it. I'll know what I have to do. I have to watch like another David Lynch movie, not Blue Velvet. Maybe I'll watch like Mulholland Drive.
Yeah. Is that?
Or I'll watch Twin Peaks again. I'll just watch Twin Peaks again.
Twin Peaks is like isn't Twin Peaks like 20 hours though?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's a series, so
Yeah.
I don't have like, and it just deals with this weird like David Lynch logic of a movie.
Yeah.
Or I'll watch Eraserhead again. So
Yeah, fair.
Like we'll do David Lynch, but not Blue Velvet.
Yeah, I don't have, like, as far as I'm aware, I don't have any like specific triggers for like my trauma, which is probably like lucky, but again, it's complex, right? So there's no singular event that like would be triggering. But movies that have really good father-son relationships just mess me up. Like it's like my dad's still alive, and my dad was my like he was cat. He was like physically abusive throughout my childhood. And when I turned 18, I left home and have been mourning him ever since. Like, he is dead to me. He's just gone. Like, he's still involved in my family, but I just, if any of them mention him, I just ignore it. He's a stranger to me that I don't know.
Right.
And so every like movie that has like very, very productive, healthy father-son dynamics is like so alien to me, and also like a thing that, you know, it's that thing where if that was changed in my history, I wonder how different I'd be. You know, like that's the one thing.
I always wonder about that, because like, not that, okay, so like we were talking about how this shapes us. Like my trauma didn't define me. It's a part of my life, but it's not all of my life. You know, like I've also had really great experiences right around the same age and things that happened to me, you know, as well, you know, so like, and I can think back to those ages and think about really good things that have happened to me in my life. So it's a different relationship with it. And then and I think because that's contributed to shame, that you are somehow responsible for the behavior of another person when you were powerless. Like that's a heavy burden to bear, you know, and somehow like and getting over the idea that there's something fundamentally wrong with you, when really it was just like, no, it's like this person was just a terrible person.
Yeah. And like the fact that like so often it like like that person is supposed to be a caregiver. Like again, like from my history and like where I spend my time investigating, like looking into trauma and stuff, like the things that interest me are just things that like have followed through my life, right? So I spend a lot of time learning about toxic relationships and red flags, and why it's not okay to just call everything a red flag. Why like we actually need to kind of respect the term and stop doing this TikTok version of it.
Right. Like if I see one persons say that what gaslighting is, I'm like, you don't know what gaslighting is. Like if someone lies to you, it's not gaslighting.
Yeah.
Like if someone lies to you and says, no, your complete perception of reality is wrong, that's gaslighting and trying to convince you that your eyes and ears are lying to you.
Yeah. Like I won't tell my wife's story, but there's like she's going through a period now where she's thinking back to her past and recognizing where that gaslighting happened. Like where there's just entire chunks of her childhood that she's like, oh right, now it makes, as an adult it makes sense. And I had that with my dad a few years ago, where like I just don't think about him typically. Like I say, like it's been a long and painful process to kind of let
Right.
go of that. But at the same time, like, because I hadn't thought about him in so long, I just realized I'm the age he was when he was abusing me. Like I've got a couple of pictures of me when I was a kid, and like I can't imagine what would possess me to harm like little me. And he's just like, as an adult person of the same age, he's just an asshole. Like he
Right. Right. Like,
he was always like
you're just an asshole.
yeah, he was always a monster. Like I could always think of him as like this monster who did this harm.
Right.
But recognizing that, like, no, he's just like, he had no friends. Like the people around him were also drunks. Like the people who, they were also assholes. Like you find that like these people who do harm will find each other. And like it's just so, and again, like this is why I look into things like toxic relationships and why I'm such a staunch feminist and stuff, is because like I want to be able to see, I don't want to have to go through that process. I don't want to be blind to these people who are giving these signals that they're monstrous, that they are the worst among us.
Like I think like and those of us who have been traumatized and we actually do the work too, like this is something that I thought that I had worked through, and apparently I haven't, is that if someone, because I'm so trauma educated and because I understand the language, and that I feel that if someone is a traumatized person, that I can handle a relationship with them. And I learned, oh God, no. Nope, Helen can't. Because also my ADHD, I hate uncertainty. I fucking hate it. Like I can't, like neurotypical people don't like uncertainty. I'm sitting over here like constantly like, and I'm fighting my anxious attachment style the whole time. And I'm like, this is too I can't do this. I can't. Like this, like you're not being clear to me like where our relationship is, and you're causing me anxiety. And also I recognize that I'm a traumatized person, and I have to sit there and like do the whole thing where like, okay, I'm like, don't react, like try to understand. And that's the new thing that I'm working on right now, is that how do I find a balance of allowing someone to be close and having that emotional intimacy, but also knowing that red flags and things I should, and how do I navigate the relationship,
I've started taking to telling people I'm traumatized, but I'm not ready to tell them about my trauma, and then like moving forward from there. And it's like, I don't want to bond with you over my trauma. Like it's the thing you said before, like my trauma doesn't define me. It's just a part of, like, it shaped me. It put me on a path that made me who I am. And like the thing I said earlier about like, if I could go back and have a better dad, like I don't think I would. Like my childhood was what made me who I am, and I kind of like who I am. And so like I don't want to ripple effect anything by going back in time and kicking baby Jesus, baby Hitler, all of them. But like I wouldn't do that, right, for myself. But this is the thing with like being trauma informed and then seeing the pain that other people's trauma brings them. Like I could go back in time and stop someone from traumatizing someone.
You know what's interesting is I have a twofold answer to that. So I can go back to the time where I was mutually sexually abused by other children because they were acting out what was happening on them. So like traumatizing, but I can handle that. The SA when I was 14, no, I don't want that back. Like that was the one that really, really fucked me up. So like, and took years for me. Cause like, I didn't remember this stuff from my childhood until I was 24. I got a memory dump. I was driving to my parents' house for dinner. I had my 2-year-old in the backseat. And then, whew, my brain's like, hey, you're emotionally ready for this. And I was like, no, I'm not. So Oh, like it's one of those things that I was like, no. Like,
It's the
but
funny
also
thing.
at the same time, because I was at the midpoint of processing what happened to me when I was 14. Like I was in this like I'm actually something about having kids. I was just like, I got to do better. Like, and I don't want my shit to pour onto my children. Like, and I've tried very hard. Like, because I was like, listen, I'm like, my kids are going to have their own trauma. I'm going to get them into therapy. I don't want to be part of them. Like, I want to be like, you'll talk about me. You'll talk about like annoying things about me, not like my mom traumatized me. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, imagine talking about normal things in therapy.
Yeah.
But
I'm
like
like, because I'm not, I guess like with, this, like, that everyone that you care about, you want to be honest about where you are, but you're not the caretaker of like everybody, so like you don't have to take on the additional burden, you're like, and also that there's other people to help you.
Yeah, like that. It's like trauma bonding isn't good, but like recognizing each other's trauma is excellent. Like
I
being
like that
able
point.
to
Bond because of the drama. One of you says something like that. It's do you want to say what you said again about trauma bonding?
being aware of someone else's trauma and like trauma bonding, it's so powerful. Like it just like it's you're being so vulnerable with someone.
It makes sex really good. Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I mean
trauma bonded with someone and you're into kink.
I was about to kink, yeah.
Oh boy, trauma bonding.
But like the knowing other people's trauma and like making space for that is
right.
Great. Like, and that's it's something that should be done, I think, in all relationships. Like I wish like I've worked in places that had access to like mental health as like a big thing that they had like on the wall. Here's the line for any staff that need mental health care. And that's awesome. But like I kind of feel like obviously you don't want to know everyone else's trauma that you work with, and you can't like demand that of people to share their trauma. But like I feel like it would be really nice to just be like, hey everyone, if we ever get onto the topic of this and I just want to say like, can we X out of this conversation? Can we all respect that that's going to be a trauma thing?
I think that's I think that's responsible adults. Like I wish it was introduced like in a employee like classes that like, hey, maybe if your employee is like freaking out and crying, like maybe we should evaluate what's going on. like and they don't do that normally. Like if they don't do this normally, whoa. Like, and also like ask like what like my of my former employer, one of my managers hates any type of bug and spider. Like she's literally been traumatized because her older brother used to put insects and bugs on her when she was a child, and it's just that it's been constant fear response. Like to me, I love spiders and lizards and little critters. I'm learning to love frogs. I'm maturing as a person. I'm doing it. So, but anyway, like, so I would be the one to be like, okay, I'll take it outside.
Yeah,
that was my job because and then if there was a couple clients that drove me crazy because they were triggering something in me, I'd be like, hey, if this person calls, can you talk to them?
Yeah.
Same thing.
It's tough for me because while I was saying there's nothing really that like is a trigger for me. I am definitely like older men are just like I just have a, which is getting easier for me because I'm getting older. But like there's a certain thing where I am so untrusting and so ready to turn on a guy who's older than me doing or saying something that I find problematic, because like I've mentioned this elsewhere, but like my dad is a totem for all of the worst things a person can be because he just had all of the bigotries. But so if I see somebody express like something too close to a line, I'll start poking and prodding to see like what that is. And if that is like, if that's a manager and I find out that like you're voting for the British Nationalist Party, like that it's a fascist group. Like, of course I'm going to not be happy with you. Like, yeah.
Like, yeah, if you're sorry guys, hey, I like to tell y'all that you're aligning with fascists. You're on the wrong side of history. I hate to tell you that, but here we are.
There are certain things.
Fascists is gonna watch my fucking show.
there are certain things that, like, there are some things that are non-negotiable.
Like, I'm probably gonna get some transphobes and some other like assholes, and I'll get like the occasional like religious troll or whatever. But like and like I'm sitting here, I'm like, what is your life? Like, what is your life that you're going into like this girl's stream with like 322 subscribers, and you're gonna like rattle my cage? Sorry, that was a small tangent.
No, you're good. Yeah, I think you're going to get people in here today who hate your take on frogs. That's my.
I do. Listen. I have trauma related to frogs, and I'm like literally I'll tell you the two things that traumatized me against frogs. When I was 5 years old, we had a swimming pool when I was growing up, and we had a bathroom, next to the outside swimming pool. So I think I was between 5 and 8, and I had gotten up to go to the bathroom, and I'm a short, and I opened the door, and I was used to my mom being outside and flicking the light on for me, but I had to go to the bathroom and she wasn't there. So, and Dad told me not to pee in the pool. So I got up out of the pool and I was going to go into the bathroom, and I didn't know how to turn the light on, and I closed the door behind me out of habit. I have clear memory of this, and there was like frogs that were in that bathroom because the tile was nice and cold.
It was cooling down. Yeah,
it was cooling down. So they started jumping, and they jumped and got excited, and one landed on my foot, and I got really scared. The second time this happened is when I first started driving, and my best friend Stephanie, who turned into a religious nut job. There's stuff related to that too. But we were really good friends from the time we were like 8 years old until the time we got into started having children, and then it got weird. Anyway, so I'm driving her home, and there's a swamp, and it's pouring rain. And the swamp has overflooded the pond, and the frogs that all lived in the pond were dumped into the road. This is a one-way road. I cannot avoid it, and there's just hundreds of frogs, and I can hear them popping under my tires.
Yeah.
So yeah. I have a legitimate frog trauma.
That one would get me.
I can't even look at them because I can remember the sound. It was so there's a reason. It's not because I think they're harmful but I'm working on it. I'm working on trying to exist with trying to exist with frogs. I don't want them dead. I don't want anything to happen to them. There's some frogs that are endangered, and I don't want anything to happen to the frog populace.
Yeah,
it's fine. I just cool. That would be what it is.
I'm thinking I can clip the entire story you just told to make it sound like you hate frogs, and then have the trolls come into your comments.
Okay. I might have misunderstood what you said, but it sounded as if you're mixing up of the terminology. I don't mean to be a party pooping or sure. Well, what terminology did we mess up? Because if we did, I would like a correction. So please let us know, Devian, and I will post it. So, okay. Oh, wait a minute. We're going to go back up. I'm sorry. Okay. Trauma bonding isn't the same thing as bonding over trauma. Trauma is the process of victim developing emotional trauma. Trauma bonding is often purposely constructed by the abuser as part of manipulation. Yes.
Valid. Yeah.
Valid. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. When I said it, I did mean bonding over trauma, and this is a thing I won't do anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, like
yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I bonding over trauma. Like and that's a good correction about like how we define things, because like there's a lot of pop psychology. So thank you, Deviant, because it's bad.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
we were talking about red flags earlier, so
yeah, red flags and like gaslighting and like and narcissism. And I'm like, listen, I'm like, that is not like, yeah, I have narcissistic qualities. Like, I think that I'm smart about some things that other people are not smarter about. Like, I know I am, and I like, and I think those opinions should be shared. So, a little bit of healthy narcissist, but I'm a healthy narcissist because I also know what my limitations are. Like, that's the difference. Like,
yeah,
if you start speaking confidently about lies, like I'm like, I am sorry, sir, but that's also not narcissism.
I'm pretty sure I probably have like one aspect of my personality that fits every personality disorder. You know, like one of them would fit.
Unicorn, what if God loves frogs because he flooded the world? You know, and he just made a perfect environment for frogs. Did you ever think about that? And now we have frogs.
Are they freshwater frogs? There are only freshwater frogs, right?
What is the what's the word? What's the word when
can't believe
there's a word for when saltwater and freshwater meet. Like,
someone will know.
What is that word? Like, there's a word for it. It'll like be like a river to a sea thing where we're now entering saltwater, and I can't remember. Please, someone tell me. Okay, there's a word for it, and I thought it was a really cool word, and I forgot it. Also, I'm high. So,
I'm not seeing a single word though, but this is the AI. So,
yeah. Okay, hold on. You're gonna look for though, because I have to play the ad for the thing. So I have to do the thing. Okay, let me pull it up. Share video. Anyway, because then I look like I'm a professional and I'm doing the thing that I'm supposed to be doing. So video. Cool. All right. And then this is me being a professional YouTuber. Watch, guys. It's great. Like, I hope, like, if you're expecting NPR shit over here, I'm so sorry for you. Like, it's not gonna be a good time. Okay, so I'm gonna do that one and one more, and I have two.
That gives me more time to look stuff up.
That's right, exactly. That's why I'm giving you more time. That is what we're doing over on this channel over here. Where did it go? Okay, I'll play this right now, and then I'll look for the other video. So we'll do that.
In 2024, NASA researcher Rachel Lenz gave the world a flag made from NASA images for Pride Month. On January 20th, 2025, the incoming U.S. administration ordered that Artistic Union of Science and Civil Rights deleted. So I tracked down the original images it was made from, recreated it, and then added even more wonders of the cosmos to update the flag to the current, more inclusive form. On the anniversary of the inauguration, I released it. And it went viral several times. Now you can get a physical copy of that artwork as a full-sized flag or a large sticker, as well as space artworks of the other Pride flags: lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, intersex, ace, and new flags being added all the time. Get one for yourself or give them as gifts and celebrate Pride, celebrate science, celebrate resistance, and help support a creator fighting for human rights for all humans. Head to astralpride.com. Okie
dokie. So do that. And also, because I got my flags yesterday. I got my non-binary flag, I got the progress flag, and I got a bisexual flag. So, I cannot hear you.
That was me. I checked on there the other day. The poly flag is on there, and I sent it to one of my friends and was like, "Hey,
I don't like
they were
the poly
making
flag.
pride shit."
I'm poly. Like I have the polysexual shirt. I like the shirt. Like I'm a polymer, like because I'm poly. I thought it was great because if you're into science, one thing, and if you're polysexual, it's another, right? But but I don't like me and Glinda talked about like this. I don't like the polyamory flag. I do not like. I own earrings, and I'm like I don't want to wear them because I do not like them.
I think just the left hand side without like if it was portrait not landscape, and so you didn't have much of the thing, then I think it would be cool.
Yeah. I don't know, and I also like I don't mind the affinity heart in the middle. Like that's fine. I just don't like the color because I'm like, well. I go, because like this is me. I'm like, seems really harsh. like it seems like, and I'm like, but I'm like, I want like I could be with someone that's like trans or well, I was, and then like or something that was gender fluid. Like it just feels a little little too much. Like, but I didn't come up with it.
Yeah, it was a vote though, right? As well, if I remember, it was like popular. It was a popular vote that had that one win.
Okay, Cull's point is very valid. Bonding over long-term experience, something else in the past, that's for sure. I think like me and my husband, we have talked about similar trauma, and there's like this instinctual thing. Like I don't have to explain this to you, like because we've experienced it, in a certain degree, and we have conversations about it, like. That's one thing. Like, there's another if you have to be the rescuer, you have to like play a certain role or whatever. That'd be different,
Yeah, I think.
Halo clients.
That's what I found. That's what
for when freshwater meets saltwater.
When freshwater, yeah, and that's from Surfer Today. It's Halo clients often form in bodies of water.
Yeah, it was it was a really interesting word, and I was like, really? Because and then I fell down like the science rabbit hole of me and my husband ended up going to the Sierra Club here in Port Charlotte. They did a presentation about the different biodiversity of living in the particular harbor, Port Charlotte harbor that I live in, and it was so interesting. And then that's why that made me think of she said that word, so I knew it was something cool. Thank you.
There are no frogs that are exclusive to halocline waters.
Damn it.
I thought it was important to look that up.
But I probably at some point I'm gonna have a gay frog as a mascot for this channel.
There's a
Onion Wars has they already took the did you see the new Onion Wars t-shirt? Oh no. Oh, it's beautiful. It's just rainbow colors. This is Onion Wars, and I'm like, oh, I want one so bad.
There's a YouTuber.
Listen, late stage capitalism is terrible when we get a win sometimes, a small win.
There's a channel that does gay frogs. It's internet comment etiquette. Also, can you hear my dog? My cat pressing his dinner button. He's already had dinner, but he's a brat.
We don't have a dog.
We don't have a dog. Pino thinks he's a dog. They're gonna get food. But yeah, there's a internet comment etiquette. He does gay frog stickers and stuff, and I keep wanting to get them, but they keep going out of stock. So every time there's they have a big 17-inch one, I think, and that's the one I want because Nika has she has all rainbow lighting in her PC over there, and I want to put the gay frog sticker across her screen for her.
I had in my office, I have to get a new one. I had a be kind, I had a gay bee, and I said be kind on the bottom, and I need to get another one because I'm like, hey, because and what was really wonderful is that when in this industry, we serve LGBTQ people. Like you have to. You like, oh, guess what? Queer people get old. Like, they're not all David Bowie. Like,
yeah, I think like that's the thing as well with like, just it's not quite as relevant to trauma, but like the people not feeling safe to come out until they're older is going away, and
right.
that is a thing that people are confusing with like we had like, I grew up in the 90s when
Right.
like there were lots of actors who were coming out as gay later in life,
Right.
and people have mistaken that. Yeah, and people have mistaken that for like, oh, it's a thing that like personally people as they get older come out, and I think it's just society was ready for them to come out when they reached that age, and now we have people coming out a lot earlier, and you have this big panic about like, oh, the kids are being programmed to do, and it's like no, society is just ready to accept that people recognize who they are at different stages in their life, and when they start to express that at whatever age, we should be supportive.
Right. It's like, okay, like however you want to dress, like, okay, like fine, like you're not wearing pajamas to school, I'm sorry. Like, but what I would do is I'm like, okay, you can go to school in your pajamas, and I would pack an extra set of clothes in the backpack. Yep. And then I would tell the teacher, I'm like, they want to wear pajamas, I put regular clothes in their backpack. If they decide to change their clothes, then the clothes are there. Like, because then you get the social consequence of like, hey, you don't wear pajamas to school. Like, you're not like, and I understand we can have an argument of like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, we can have that conversation, but I'm just saying, like, certain expectations for certain things. Because, and I think that's like a natural lesson of, because like, and also too, if nobody, like, the more people that are younger and younger coming out going like, I don't care, like, or, I accept you regardless, like, that frees kids up to figure that out. We allow teenagers that times, just sometimes like right around 8-9 years old, when the personality starts to form, you'll start to see the changes.
Yeah. And like, I forget who it was I was watching, but they were saying that like, for the experience, because of the kind of like
okay. Cross thinking bonding over wounds is real and important. Yes, it's not a foundation of strength and happiness. I'm not. Oh no, you're not. Like, there's like, you can bond with someone over, like, me and Cull are both trauma survivors, so like we bond on this as friends, but it doesn't define our relationship. Like also we'll make each other laugh.
Yeah,
and we'll talk about shit. Yeah. Like we'll laugh about the trauma, but also we'll laugh about both of us suffering from ADHD. And also, like, I can probably say that he can speak better than me because he's the British guy and he sounds a lot smarter than
I always sound it's an illusion.
like I love, like, that's the thing about like Americans and like British people. I'm like, you are posh, you sound like you're smarter than me, and it's like, no.
I'm definitely I am definitely not posh. I'm from Newham, which is the poorest borough of London. It was when I was a kid. Yeah. Maybe that's not true now. I'm not sure, but it's one of the poorest.
I do want to say one thing. I said that posh as in
to an American.
To an American. Yes. Not to like, as, like
my voice has softened though, like, a lot.
I'm from New Hampshire. Okay, there was like British people that's out there. All right,
I can
all the white people.
That's like, I'm pretty sure my voice is a performance. I'm gonna see if I can go back to like childhood voice. Every so often, it's really funny with my mom. I think I can do it because I can do an impression of my mom. So I'll speak to my mom on the phone, and she'll like, it used to be a thing, less so anymore because mobiles, right? It tells you who you're getting called by and stuff. But yeah, she'd answer a phone and she'd be all posh and stuff at first, and she's, "Hi, this is the blah 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 residence," and then it's like, "Oh, it's me, mum," and she goes, "Oh, right, love, how you doing?" It's just, yeah.
So all of a sudden she's cognate.
Very cognate, yeah. Grew up in the East End, yeah. But yeah, just in regards to the comment that was just up, I think like the thing I said was very early into like a new friendship or a new relationship, I will tell somebody that I have trauma because it's going to be important down the line. But I'm not. But I'll also inform them, like, until we have formed and until we know each other better, that trauma is going to remain private.
Right.
Because like I do want to sort of I want to make sure that this person knows that that conversation is going to happen. Like, if we remain friends, there's a point where I'm going to have to open up to you about certain things that I have experienced in my life that have like shaped me and who I am. And it will likely come about because you've said something or done something that reminds me of like a painful time in my life. So it's like, I want to let people who are important enough to me know that this is a conversation we will be having in time, but at the same time protect myself from and protect others, because it's not nice to trauma dump. Yeah, but like I
call it verbal vomiting. I'm like, hey, can I verbal vomit on you? Like, or I warn people. I'm like, sorry. Like, I was talking to my coworker today, my work wife, and I was it was the beginning part of the day before the good stuff happened. And I was like, hey, I'm warning, verbal vomit, and I'm like texting like my frustration with my work wife, and then I was like, thank you for listening to me. I'm so sorry. Thank you. You need to get it out, but you want people to brace.
Yeah, I will sometimes send messages. I really like Discord because you can spoiler messages, and I'll send a message half spoiled and be like, hey, I'm having a really shit time. I just want to let you know I'm still here, but I might not talk for a while, and here's why. And then the rest of it is spoilers. And at the end, it will be like, don't read this until like we're talking again, because like I know you're gonna want to talk to me about it, and I am not in a place where I can talk about it right now. So
I always say, I'm like, if you need me, if you need, like, you're an adult, okay? Like, you're an adult, and I'm like, and also I do recognize that some people have a certain level of closeness with other types of people. So where you are on the totem pole, okay? I will say to you, I'm like, if you are contacting me like at like 2 a.m, like you like, and this can be, if we're getting anything where you might need medical intervention, or you just need me to, like, I need you to, so I can hang on another 10 minutes, I can be that person. But also at the same time, where are you on the totem pole? Like Esther and I were talking about, like if you wake me up in the middle of the night to tell me about your dream, like, am I going to punch you in the face? Where are you?
That might be, I wonder if that's the factor of like, because so I have like a weird relationship ladder thing where like it's all shuffled around because of like trauma and this like fear of bonding and the anxiety that comes with friendships and stuff. So like I will keep people in like the acquaintance box for a very long time. And I wonder if answering the phone at 5 a.m. to this person is the threshold for what like has them cross that line into friend, where like if someone called me at 5 a.m. it would be like, oh, I need to answer this. It's this person calling me at 5 a.m.
Right.
This might be a problem.
Like, if you call me at 5 a.m., I'd be like, who's calling me at 5 a.m.? Like,
yeah. And it's like
I need to answer this. There are other people I'm like, so sorry. I'm like, I don't need to answer that.
I called you back at 9 when I was able
like,
to.
I'm like, this can wait till morning.
Yeah.
Like, because then you're like, if you're calling me, something has gone wrong.
Yeah, I would like to think
or you're not reading things correctly.
Yeah, like I would like to think I'm always at the bottom of the list. Like, please go to other people first. But it's not the case because I'm
'Cause,
nice.
like,
But, you know,
I'm okay. What is your fear response?
it depends on the fear, I think. But I overanalyze, and so like I try to solve is my response.
And where is that on the totem pole? Because there's
Fight,
there's
I think it
freeze,
falls under.
flight, fawn, fold.
Yeah, I think it comes under fight. Like I think I
Fight,
do think it's a fight response. It's like it's a
Okay.
non-aggressive fight response, but
Right.
like I try to find the way out. That's my
I'm a
response.
freezer. Because I think it's the autism. Like my sympathetic nervous system kicks in first, and then my body does like what risk assessment. I don't know, like because I'm like I don't know the level of risk assessment on the totem pole, like and so yeah, it's either, like I'm on Gier. I'm also a fawner. Like I'm a freezer and a fawner. Like and I usually my fawning is like, who's the closest person that I feel the most safe with? Like, I'm gonna go there, and everything else kind of just like I don't know how to respond, and I just like freeze up. So it's that's the trauma response to I'm like I don't know, like, and because I don't like that freezing up, it like I don't, and I think this leads to also when I'm emotionally flooded, I cry. Like even when I'm angry, I cry because there's this emotional release of it, and also too because like you're making me angry and that makes me sad. Like because I don't want to be angry, and like sadness I'm more comfortable in is the depression. Like
Yes,
I know that road. I don't like anger, and we don't hang out.
Yeah,
Like I would like if we were in Avatar the Last Airbender, I would probably be in the Water Tribe. Like I'd be a Water Tribe person wanting to join the Fire Nation. That would be me.
yeah. I think it's interesting because like it's, typically everyone has more than one trauma response, right? Like it's I also like there's I have heard up to like 7, I think, but I can't remember what they all are, and I don't know how much of that now is like.
Okay, I'm gonna you keep talking while I look this up.
Sure, yeah. So because I'm pretty sure some of it is probably pop science, but I've heard flock too, which is looking to others for solution. And so like you find other people in like as your response.
All right. Okay. Psychological.
And I like that one feels very specific though, because I feel like, you know, on one-on-one situations, or even if you're having a like some kind of traumatic experience alone, it feels weird that like I would just consider that flight to go and look for somebody else. So maybe I'm just
okay. So that okay.
5 is the training.
Okay, University of Alabama, you are not helpful. Actually, let me do a wiki.
Like I say, the last time I did like a training on this, it was 5 that were given as like the currently accepted among psychology.
All right, so fear processing in the brain. It goes into oh, this is interesting. I'm sorry. If you go to the wiki page, it goes into the molecular response. So that's interesting. That was not helpful either. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna look this up later because now I'm getting distracted. I'm supposed to be hosting a podcast. Like I'm not gonna fall down. Like, where does this go? I wanted it to be easy. It wasn't.
I think that's the thing too, as well, though, with like people with different trauma responses are treated differently, because like people who freeze tend to then be fawned over by others, and
yeah, it's very reciprocal.
Yeah. And people who fight will like force others to like a lot of the time into like flight or like, you know, one of the other responses, and I think for me, I think I used to be a flight, like I used to run away, and then at some point, like in my teenage years, I decided that like I would just stand and I would just accept what was coming, like and that I think was the switch. And then you were saying movies earlier. I realized a few years back that I think Good Will Hunting changed my life, which is really annoying. But like, I am pretty sure I saw that movie, and after that, I was like, oh wait, I can just take a beating. Like, I don't have to run away. I don't have to cry. I don't have to give him like the reward of seeing me hurt. I can just taunt him through it, which is what I started to do. And like, that was the switch in my responses from flight to fight.
That's what my husband's response was, because when he was growing up, he was really funny because am I jittery? I'm sorry, I do not know what's going on because I am hardwired in, and I'm jittery. So I don't know. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh, what was I talking about?
Your husband, I think.
My husband. Oh, okay. So he grew up in like the DC punk scene, and had kind of the same sort of like experience where he would be like in these mosh pits, or he'd be like in these punk shows where people are like, where like actual neo-Nazis would show up, and they were over here like, hey, you're missing the point over here. Hey, you completely missed the point. Yeah. You have missed the point of like these, like, nasty punks, like, fuck off. Like you have missed the point, right? So he's over here, but he got into like this fight at one point, and all of a sudden something switched in his brain that if he stopped like trying to appease but more like taunt them, like it would diffuse them, like, because they didn't expect like these like liberal assholes to be like, no, like and calm out on their shit, like, and then it was like this thing that switched in his brain that his response to feel like, no, let's calm down. It's like, no, it's actually better to meet their energy in a positive way.
yeah I think there's a Darren Brown who started, I think, as a mentalist and now just calls himself a magician or whatever, but like he's talked about having, like, I think he was mugged outside of his house was the story, and he basically he just did something similar where you like match the energy, but he like asked the person why they were doing it and stuff, and supposedly the person that was trying to rob him ended up crying and leaving, and that is the match the energy, but with like, I think and I'm probably getting this wrong, but you match the energy while having like a very like diffusing conversation. So right. You'll also be really big and boisterous and everything, but you'll be like, can we not just be friends?
Well, like, so. Like also like, hey, you're stupid. Also, like, come debate me on your podcast. And it's just like, I don't respect you. I'm like, you're giving me two different messages. One, and then you get another one like, well, you're a dumbass bitch. You did blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, answer these questions. What is your evidence? Like, oh, who gave you this information? Is it reliable? Like, does it track with what exists in reality? Ask basic questions.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you have reached over into insult, you have lost the argument. And those of us that are trauma survivors and we've done the work, we know we can sniff it out like a fucking like bloodhound in The Fugitive. We will figure it out.
Yeah, like that. It is the thing. Like I said, like one of the reasons. One of the reasons.
Ember, you weren't here when I played your ad.
The ad played. Oh, I meant to say actually, Helen. Do you prefer the poly flag in Astral Pride merch.
I got the bi flag because I don't know, I didn't see the polysexual. No, okay. I have not. I got the bisexual flag. I have not seen the polyamory flag. So I have to look at it because I got the non-binary flag. I got the non-binary flag for my oldest child. I got the progress flag, and I got my bisexual flag because I do have a flagpole, but I want to take my bisexual flag and the progress flag and put it on either side. And this way it's like two-sided of like, hey, I'm personally multi-attraction, sexual person, but also that means that everybody else gets to be included. Cool. So
yeah,
I got my oldest, their non-binary flag. So
yeah,
I'm probably gonna have to get an ally one for my son.
Maybe you will prefer the poly one in Astral Pride colors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
maybe
so
that's the thing that will turn you.
Everybody, get yourself some flags. I am gonna get a sticker. Like I do want to get like a sticker. Like I don't know if I want to put it in my car because ICE has been hanging around my town. So, like this is the I live in Florida. Like it used to be a purple state. It used to be a purple state here, and then like all the rich Republicans moved down here, and then like the politics changed. And like I moved down here when it was a pretty progressive state. My son wouldn't have gotten the education that he gotten if at the time when he was a little boy, he because I was living in where we're putting like money to fund education for kids that are on the autism spectrum. So this is what public education does when it works for the people.
Yeah. I saw a comment. Brian asked if I could say more about Good Will Hunting. I grew up Catholic, and so I had those whole 10 commandments literally beaten into me. And so I thought that I just thought everyone else also had abusive parents. And like my mum is very loving, my mum is very kind, my mum is also a victim of my dad. And like the abuse was very much from my dad's side, but my mum like enabled it and went along with it. And I said elsewhere that like sometimes it would be a thing where like I didn't want to clean my room, right? And my mum would be like, well, I'll tell your dad. And what she was essentially saying was you'll get a beating. And so like I used to run, I used to hide literally in closets sometimes, so that I know what Lego feels like a big box of Lego. I know what it's like to stand on that or to sit on that for like.
I used to do that for fun because of the sensory thing.
Yeah,
I didn't like stepping on this is not fun, but like I don't know, maybe that's why I'm in the king now. It's just like when I was a child,
no pain,
experience, I would sit on Legos like just for the sensory experience. God, it explains so much about me. Wow.
But then in I saw Good Will Hunting probably my early teens or like just like very late preteen, I think. And there's a scene in there where he's talking about the fact that his adoptive parent or foster parent used to beat him, and he had to choose the apparatus to be beaten with. And he's like, "Oh, I go for the wrench because fuck him." And I was like, "Wait, you can answer back. Like you can make it less pleasurable for like they're obviously beating me because I'm bad, right? Not because they get pleasure out of it, not because it makes them feel powerful." And then it's like, oh no, wait, that is what it is. So I can just remove
like,
that. Yeah.
Which is so like that's the thing. Like I say like kids need love, security, and discipline. Like you need to know what the boundaries are, and that's learning discipline. It's like authoritative versus authoritarian. Like I'm going to tell you not to put your hand on the stove because that's going to cause harm to you. Like it's going to cause harm to you. That is why we don't do this. This is, like, and then once you recognize that other human beings have those emotions too. That's the point.
Yeah, like that. You can be authoritative based on trust, like not
Right.
authoritarian based on fear. And that's
Right.
the healthy way of doing things.
Yeah, like it's like, hey, like listen, I'm like, I'm going to trust you that if you run out in the middle of the street, you're going to get hit by a car, and the car is 1,000 times weighs more than you, and you will die. Or if you survive, you're not going to like it.
Yeah.
Like let's have that conversation.
Let's have that conversation like, before you run into the road.
Right, and this is a thing that like I have like quibbles with, because like we know the real world consequence of getting hit by a car it's bad. It's very bad. But when you add like a trauma on top of not trusting reality, it like adds a certain like special type of bitterness to it, because now not only did you give me trauma, but you also like physical, mental, sexual, whatever abuse people suffer from. You're adding religion on top of it. And the thing with religion, it teaches you that there's something inherently wrong with you if bad things happen to you. It's not because someone is acting out their weird fucked up trauma that somehow got fucked up along the way, and you just happen to be a receiver of it. Great for you. Like but you don't know that at 5 years old. Like I know, like when someone's acting an asshole to me, I'm like, is this worth the battle? Like, is that like, when do I engage? I can choose that, right? That's a gauge of like what your boundaries are. But kids and even traumatized adults don't know what that is.
Yeah, and like especially if your environment is trapping you in that, so that like you can't escape. That there are definitely times where you can never control to a totality. You can never ensure that you're not going to experience something traumatic. Like you can try and you'll fail.
I'm so sorry.
Life is hard.
I'm sorry. I had a traumatic experience when I was driving to work where a bar hit my windshield, and luckily it landed on the passenger side. Yeah. And I was like freaking out, but I had enough wherewithal to pull over the side of the road. And every single time I am behind a van, like a little white van now with like stuff on the top of it, my brain automatically goes, holy fuck, is that going to hit my windshield? My brain is now changed. Like the neurons that's where they are.
Yeah.
Fear response.
Do you have to change lane now to get out from behind that?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. That's a flight response.
That's a flight response. Like, I'm going over here now. Like, that's what it is. And I experienced that at 48. So here we are.
Yeah.
Something to keep in mind. Because you're going to do this forever. It's going to be forever. It's just knowing what you can handle and like what degree you are on a spectrum, especially, and also knowing where you are on the substances and knowing where you are depending on what relationship you have with someone. Like this is why I'm doing these talks on parasocial relationships, because it gets tricky when we're in this space. So, and Cull and I have personal trauma we've experienced like in real life. And I'm sure a lot like if you exist in the world, you've been through some trauma. Like I'm sure to one level of degree, we can have a conversation about that, but like it's the change in the brain. Like fear changes the landscape of your brain. And because your sympathetic nervous system connects with your parasympathetic nervous system, and a bunch of cortisol starts flooding to your brain, and the brain can interpret stimuli through sound, taste, touch,
there's
sight. So like it's a flood, and then it's going to be that flood, and it's going to get very tangled. And it just is recognizing it. Like, it doesn't really matter if you're 8 or 48. Like, it's going to happen. And how do we adjust, and how do we recognize, like, oh, this is the response I'm having?
Yeah, and like one of the things, like I'll always say, just get in therapy. Like, it's just good to be in therapy. Like, I think therapy should be government funded for everyone.
Yes.
Like,
I want to live in a world where everybody has a therapist on speed dial. Even therapists are like, therapists have their own therapist on speed dial. Like that's the world I want to live in.
Yeah. I have heard the argument, though, that like, if the government were doing that, you wouldn't be able to trust the therapists because they're now being paid by the government. And so they're gonna gaslight you into voting the way they want you to. It's like, if anyone is in a position to manipulate you at your worst, it would be a therapist, which is why we have oaths and why they do so much
we have
training.
ethics boards. This is why
exactly.
science has ethics boards. Like, you watch The Watchmen. like guys, like, everybody has, like, this is how accountability works. Like, I have an accountability kink, because we all agree that this particular behavior is disgusting, and we can show a pattern where it is disgusting and why you're being a complete piece of shit. Like, we can show a pattern of behavior that does not serve us as human beings. So fuck all the way off. If you try to say, like, no, we're going to apply different rules, and I'm like, all of us are going to go, what?
Yeah.
Because we don't want to hurt anybody. Like, that's the goal. We've been traumatized. Like, this, like, I will say, for people that like get to a point where they're not, like, for some, like, something about the human brain, for us to get all this fucking gray matter in here, is challenge. And trauma is a really good way to challenge the brain. And then we have to decide, once we realize, like, hey, I'm having like physiological responses to this particular stimuli, what does that say? And it takes so much fucking work. And you will fail. Like, there's no perfect system. Like, I can be going through a complete PTSD response, and I know I am like, this is a PTSD response, but like, my brain does not fucking care. It does not care.
I've been using it's like an emotion wheel, and it like links out to physical sensations. That's what I'm working on in therapy now, is like recognizing. I'm so bad at recognizing the deeper parts.
My therapist, that was the first thing when I entered therapy again. Like, I was talking about, like, anger and like the surface emotions, and she immediately went to the wheel. So good for your therapist. Like, it is such a good tool.
Like, for me, though, like, I don't know if it's something. I don't know if there's something wrong with me, but like, the things on the outside of this wheel don't match up to the things on the inside for me. It's like, oh, what's my behavior? It's over here. Oh, my eyes are dry and like tearing up. And what does that relate to? Wait, no, that's not what I'm experiencing. Maybe I'm just in denial. Who knows?
No, or like some things you're like, it's not that deep. Like, some things are just like, you're just sad. Like, it doesn't, like, or you're like, your eyes are dry, or this particular, like, it's not that deep, bro. Like, some things are just philosophical responses, but when I'm emotionally flooded, like, that's when I use it. Like, when I'm like, why am I experiencing this, and what is the proper response? And it's like, okay, I'm like, I can do one more week, but no, I didn't have to, so good for me. Like, yay. Sometimes, okay, so for I have a new job, guys, and I quit my old job, and since I'm now officially released, I can talk. So today I got into a little bit of a spit with my manager, and I really wanted to walk out because I only had 7 days. So I was like, okay, I'm like, level of should I make this a thing? Right? And I was like, I'm just gonna let it go. Luckily, I did that because now they released me early with 7 days pay because I was going to leave next Wednesday was my last day. So I get 5 days where I don't have to go back to work, and then a week and a half before I start my new job, and I'll be much more in a better mood and better rested to go to the Revival of Reason next weekend. But remind everybody, please go click the QR code over there. Yes, click it for mommy. Click it for mommy. It really likes it. Like you twiddle it. Make sure to click it. And give some money to the Revival. Hey, is Kelly still here? We gave 2 tickets away to the Revival of Reason, and I don't know who won. So Kelly's still here. And I can say it on my channel too. That'd be great. Like, oh my God. This is why you have friends. This is why you have other chaos goblins in your life.
This is one of the things I was saying earlier as well, though, why I think like sharing your trauma with friends is amazing, because like there are times where it's really helpful to just be able to hand something over to someone you trust and someone you care about, and you know they trust and care about you, and you can just rely on them for a while to just fade into the background and figure out what's happening. Like one of the healthiest things, which is like why, like going back to like for me, like finding community has been really difficult for me. And like that's why I appreciate this space so much, but also why like one, why I was volunteering in it, and 2, why like I've been happy to be in the background. Like I just like being around people who are having these conversations. I like being aware that there are other people struggling with similar things to me, and like it's just really good to find that among a group of people. And I was talking to a friend earlier, and I was saying like, oh, I'm hanging out with a bunch of atheists, and then I was like, but really they're not atheists, it's more like they're secular humanists. Like it's what really brings people together is the acceptance. Like that's what it is. It's the fact that like we actively care about the people in this community, and like you can't do that on a one-to-one level, but you can do that on a, hey, this is why we're having these conversations. like
right,
I
exactly.
have been in this space for like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years now, just watching quietly, like growing as a person, like all of the things, and like and coming out of my shell more, and the whole not like going into my shell, I guess, trauma response. So there's some freeze in there for me too. Like
right, and like, but I told you, like if you need an emotional support animal, you know, when you want to do some exposure therapy, like, you know, like you can tell your therapist like, hey, my friend Helen offered, you know, and see how they feel about it, and if they think it's a good idea, then cool. But like, you know, whatever your therapist like agree upon, like, you know, collaborative. That's why we have professionals. Seculartherapy.org. Please do the thing. Do the thing. If you want a secular therapist in the United States, go to the Secular Therapy Project. If you know a therapist or you are a therapist. Also, if you're looking for a therapist, if you go to seculartherapyproject.org, and there's a link for new therapists to sign up. The questionnaire, if you're looking for a therapist, even if you don't use the Secular Therapy Project, is a really good questionnaire to find out if your therapist is good for you. Because like therapy is like dating. It's not like going like if you break your leg, like, you know, the doctor that like knows how to repair like a broken bone, it's going to be like, you know, like if you get 230, like someone that's able to pick broken leg out with 30 years experience, like cool. 30-year experience between therapists can look very different. Very different.
One of the resources that that my wife always talks about, because it's something she had access to while she was at university. If you have a big university in your state or your city or whatever, and they have a good psychology course, grad students need hours. And so you can very often sign up through a university to have like grad students who are about to go out and be therapists, who just need to have like enough sessions under their belt.
That's what I do. That's what I do here. I belong to the TANF program for mental health services in Florida. Down like concerned because I'm starting to get bills, and I'm not supposed to have bills, and I'm getting a little worried. So
is it a
that's
sliding scale? Is that what's happening?
No, I've got a $250 bill, and I've never gotten one in the past 10 years I've been in this program because I keep getting grandfathered in. Because I have a continual mental health issue. I have major depressive disorder, I have generalized anxiety disorder, and I have ADHD, and I have autism. But I'm white, and I make good, somewhat okay money. It gets I hate DeSantis. Fuck him. Anyway, and I keep telling my therapist is like, you're not supposed to be getting bills. I'm like, I know. So that's a different conversation we can have. But but the thing is, so most of my therapists that I've had, it has been people that are grad students because it's a government funded program, and it was designed actually it was saving the state money to have this program, to have these new therapists where they get actual expertise. They're dealing with a vast variety of population of low income people that need social services. They have a program that helps especially young men deal through my best friend works for the particular program. It's called Centerstone. Works for this program and works with boys that are within a certain age group, like adolescents. And he'll tell them things like, don't send girls penis pictures of your penis. They don't like that. He'll just have that basic conversation with them. And also it's a crime. He'll do both. Yeah. No, you cannot do this. You're not an adult. This is technically a crime, even though you're doing it to your this girl that you're trying to. And also she doesn't want to see it.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Women don't like that. He's actually trying to guide them to be, and also trying to help them to what degree is he a family counselor, but also dealing with teenage boys that are and adolescent boys that are dealing with living in weird households,
Yeah, and
and the studies show it saved the state money when they were not seeing these programs because they wouldn't go on to violent, society, things that complicated society, they're traumatized, but also they're, running over this mom and pop shop for $500. Really?
Yeah,
that's
it's we're seeing that now with the rise of the manosphere and stuff, where toxic masculinity is being pushed as the norm again.
Yep. That's why I'm a mental health care advocate. Please.
Yep.
Oh my God. If you're gonna work out your muscles, please work out your brain.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. Yeah. The working with adolescents who don't have good parental figures or who are struggling. I think we're seeing the effects of that more now in the voter polls and stuff. We're seeing traumatized young men who have this false view of the world that is around them, being told that everything should be handed to them because they're a dude, because they're a guy. They have preferential treatment,
right?
Because that's how it used to be when it was a better time. And it's no, that wasn't better for anyone, including the men. I'm
have you watched My Men? Have you these people that have this very nostalgic idea of what it was for men for the 1950s and for women. It is not a good ride. It looks it is very much the gloss. the glamour. If you're talking about vampires, like we're talking about glamour, like the facade of what people want you to see versus like the dark underbelly that exactly exists in this thing. And like that's why like when people are obsessed about like celebrities and stuff, I'm like grow up. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't get it. Like I don't understand it. Because I'm like, that's just a person doing a job at the end of the day. And I'm like, why are they better than me? I don't understand. Okay. Like, and that's a complication of living under capitalism, because people are like, what replaces capitalism? And I'm like, pretty much a like socioeconomic combo system right now. We're not there. We're not at like, money doesn't exist. We're not at Star Trek level, but we have to go somewhere. This is the next step. Because people that were still like, no, I really think Republicans are doing like the best job fucking ever. Like they're like, oh no. And that's the whole thing. Cause like, it's a lie. Everything, when you realize that everybody's trying to sell you some shit, you're just like, yeah, isn't it fucking stupid?
Yeah. Like, I think because the fact that like so many people who are pushing that image, like, are the, like I said earlier, like the worst of us, right? There is
like, this is an impossible thing. Like, anyway,
I really appreciate celebrities who like don't want to be celebrities, who like fade from the limelight, who are like, no, I'm gonna go and do my job and then I'm gonna go away. And like
Sarah Michelle Gellar did that for Buffy. Like she had a really good peak, and then she focused on raising her family, and she had the privilege to do that, and did like this organic bakery thing. And then she's now starting to be like, oh no, I actually have to do some stuff now. So yeah.
But like I think the real problem is like the TMZs of the world and stuff, where it's like it's the sensationalization of these celebrities as like folk heroes or action heroes. Like they're just, like you said, they're just people doing their jobs. And like I don't understand.
Like I'm gonna revert Andy Serkis's Animal Farm. Just no. like so close, Andy. Like so close. And then they start to believe their own bullshit. Like that's the problem. I think I love Andy Serkis. Phenomenal actor. Probably totally awesome person. But also you kind of miss the point. like it's like I don't think Orwell would be happy with their interpretation of his book.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't know if I will. I like Andy Serkis in a bunch of his roles, but I don't think like as a producer director I'm going out of my way to see him. Like
but
he did the Jungle Book too, didn't he?
He does the voice of the main villain in my favorite video game. So, and it's amazing. This game is like, if you have not played Clair Obscur Expedition 33, you're missing out. It's so French, and I'm French. So hit the aesthetic. It's all existentialism themes, and has beautiful music, and it's sad. It's very bittersweet, and also trolley problems all the time. So I love that. like Near Automata, also great game. You should totally play that. I'm just saying, like, I love existential the video game.
I mean,
I that's how I experience trauma. I play video games, and I
was about to say, the existential dread coming from video games is a lot safer.
I have beautiful existential crises. Okay, like they're gorgeous.
Yeah, I do really like I do really prefer my existential dread in video games and movies
Oh,
as opposed
except
to
for sure.
actual trauma. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll play Bloodborne and I'm just like, yeah, and I'm like, it's just a sacred feminine all over again. Like it's all fucked up. like there's like I don't it's the ADHD brain. It's just like, and when we I cannot tell you the people that do not have ADHD, hyper focusing can take on you watching days worth of YouTube videos on one particular video game or topic. You will obsess.
So when
And it lasts a few days and then you moved on to something else.
there was an outrage a little while back when Velma came out in Scooby-Doo. I think it was Velma. And I was like, I'm fairly certain from my like memory that none of the episodes I ever saw sexualized Velma in any way. And so like it's perfectly fine for me to be like,
I watched Scooby-Doo as an adult. Like, and there's no sexualization. Also in He-Man, there's like we've associated these things with like queer icons in like the 70s and 80s, but like there's no sexuality. And like She-Ra and He-Man, like one of the clauses when copyrights could be distributed on I don't remember what it was, but like you could have a show that like opened up to commercial corporation like toy manufacturers, right? Fine, okay, but on like those shows there had to be like a moral lesson. Okay, so there'd be like one end of the coin, and then there'd be another thing where like there was actually you were teaching children something, like, you know, actual science. Like I remember as a kid I would watch like Mr. Wizard and when I was a kid, and Cosmos, and like through public television, but also on He-Man and like cartoon shows, there was some kind of moral lesson you were learning about like not lying, you know, how to be a good person, you know, like those moral lessons were like woven into it. Like there had to be like some purpose for you to be like pushing this product forward.
Yeah, it couldn't just be for the toys.
Right, yeah, like that was one of the things. Like even if you remember like early Transformers, like it, like G.I. Joe, like it was still about like, you know, how do you be a good person, like, you know.
But the thing I was saying is like that was going to be my hyperfixation for a while when that happened, because I was like, I want to go back and just watch all of the Scooby-Doos to see if any of them ever did anything where they were talking about, you know, Velma being sexualized. And then I looked up how much Scooby-Doo content there is and across how many different platforms it plays, because it's not all in one space, because it's like changed hands over time and stuff. So like the work that would have been necessary would actually have been such a focus, like I would have lost months.
Right.
And I was like, you know what, I have to back out now, because this is too much.
like it's almost like it's not that deep, bro. like it basically is telling kids like, you know, like think logically, like that's all. Like it is literally about like and stupid jokes, and it was so cheap. Like if you like there's the same 8 frames in chasing it, the background is not changed at all. Like they're always running in the same hallway. Like they did it on a shoestring budget, but it's soldable. So because like if you remember like watching as a kid and then you watch it as an adult, it does not hold up.
Yeah,
it just doesn't. Like old Sesame Street holds up. like old like Muppet Show holds up. You know, it is that kind of like, you know, certain like, you know, sweet spot of nostalgia, but also I don't understand why people like make it their whole personality. I'm just like, yeah, it was a cute show, but like, why are we defending this to the death? I don't understand.
Yeah, I think that's that can be said of all fandoms though. Like I wouldn't, because some fandoms are cool, but like I still think being I don't know, it's just for me, I also sort of try to hold to don't have heroes, and that extends out into like fandom and stuff. Like I just can't be attached to something that I'm not in control of, because it's like it's going to go away, or if it's a person, they're going to do something terrible. Like I'm so pessimistic in my hope for like for actual meaningful attachment that like I will refrain. Trauma.
This is trauma, guys. It's so much fun, guys. Let me tell you how much fun trauma is. Like, also, well, actually, if I make fun of it, it's very fun because I'm always just like, well, and like I will do it as a like it's almost like therapy for me to make fun of my trauma, like not in like a differential way where I'm saying like the things that happened to me, which have happened to other people, depending on what level you are. I'm not disrespecting, but where I can be like, hey, this is a thing. Hey, yeah, we're never like you and I will never see that movie together. Like, or you and I will never have this conversation, you know, like where you can like recognize your limit, but also like you have enough separation from it that it's not going to affect you in like an everyday conversation, you know, but you recognize that it's related to you and you're not saying anything about anybody else. There's a difference.
I think it's, I don't know, like recognizing your own trauma is like, we were talking about something earlier, and I can't repeat it, but like
I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is?
I don't know Blake's 7.
No, I do not.
But
See,
my answer will be the same.
Chat, and now I have to think. Now I'm going to ask. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Anyway, go ahead. Finish your thought. What is Blake 7? I must know.
I'm pretty sure Don't Have Heroes will still hold. Like, it's
I have people I admire, but like heroes, like no, I don't know. Like I don't know. Like once you realize that like everybody's relying on each other, like there is no like pinnacle, like because like there's a reason why like it's not just like Captain America or like, you know, Iron Man, it's the Avengers. Like it's like there's no I in team.
Yeah.
Like I hate to say it because but that's the only way you learn and grow is like I'm talking about the brain, guys. Like gray matter exists because we introduce friction. Like people that like would suffer like Alzheimer's effect, it can be delayed by having to learn a new skill. Like something like, you know, extending outside the brain where you're not thinking about it, but like putting the muscle memory into will create more of those connections, those neurons be connected. Like this is shown in science. So I'm over here going like, yeah, like learning about trauma is great. But also there's a part of me too dealing with trauma, like and how it shaped me. It shapes how I relate to the world. Like it seems to be more of it's not the spotlight, but it's on the dimmer switch. That's how I can relate it. Make sense?
I don't get the dimmer switch.
Like on what intensity? Like are we all the way up to the spotlight or we're like on a gradient of how much this is affecting me in the background?
Got you. Yeah.
That's my argument.
For me, it's the not projecting my trauma outwards in terms of like my expectations for others, which I think feels kind of similar in terms of like that has to be a dimmer switch too, because I can't turn it off. Like right. Like my trauma is going to is going to inform my expectations. There's no way around that. But I can try
Right.
to control the levels to which I apply that and to which circumstances I apply it. Like sometimes it's fine to just, you know, turn to my wife, have a cry, and turn that switch all the way to max. But like,
Right.
that's not every situation. And the more informed you are, the better control of that switch you have.
Right. And then you're able to communicate. And for example, I've done a little bit more of the language understanding than my husband has. And so I try to be like, okay, I'm like, where are you here? Like, and I like, I'll use like, you know, are you emotionally flooded? How are you feeling? I encourage open communication. But I also say our key thing is that I need to have demons with it. I need to have tea with my demons. Like when I'm emotionally flooded and they want to like continue the conversation, we say to each other, I need to go have tea with my demons, which means that let me process and then we can talk. Because if like, because you'll hit a break for you, and your partner may not like it, but they'll stop. Like they're gonna be like, okay, like you're gonna get like fuck, you know, and they're gonna get mad. But they'll like if they respect it, then that means like okay, like then you can talk about it later, you know, and you don't have to fawn or please them. You can just be like, okay, they stopped, I can stop. You know,
I think
you know, I'm Gasper. They even though, you know, you don't get the response that you want from that saying no. At least they're stopping.
I just use traffic light system. So it's like if we say like if I'm having a conversation about something and we say red, like we're just like, oh, okay, we'll stop, and then we'll check in afterwards. Like we'll do something else. Like I'll take my attention away. I'll do whatever I need to like figure out what's going on in me. But like I like it because then you've also got yellow where it's like you can say like, oh, I'm on an amber light, and it's like I'm requesting a check-in. It's like I want to have some verbalization of what's happening, and it's either like it might stay there, it might go back to green, it might go to red, but like figuring out where I'm at, and like just very simple language of like just using traffic light colors is where I go to. But I don't know if I ever have tea with my demons, so
I have to, like I'm an overanalyzer, so I'm always having tea with my demons. Even when I don't think I'm having tea with my demons, I'm like, how am I relating to this and what's going on in my life? Oh, I'm probably having a trauma response like every day. like only time I'm like, no, I'm actually in a really good mood right now. I'm not. But like
that's the thing I said earlier, like it's easier for me to, or I only really recognize when I'm healthy, and I don't recognize the extent to which I'm unhealthy. And so like the like those slopes and those things is like it's I can be like, oh, I'm at this peak where I'm like I'm functional and I'm feeling good. I just need to ride it and hope it goes for as long as like as it does, and just there's, you know, that again though, this is why therapy is so important, because therapy is figuring out how to put those struts in place to make sure you don't fall. Like
it's basically learning, like we're going to teach you how to have safety nets. Like it's not going to keep you from, you're not going to hit the floor, but like okay, we're here, good, okay, we're here, this is where we're going to stop, you know, because like knowing your limitations is a strength. Keep saying that over and over again. And also another thing is that that you should love everybody, but not trust everybody, and everybody's responsible for themselves. So also that too.
Except babies.
Except babies.
Everyone else, everyone's responsible for the babies. They can't.
Everybody's responsible for the babies. Everybody's responsible. Please, oh my God, please, like it does take a village, you know, and also too, like recognizing that makes you a good parent. Like your kids are supposed to have other influences. Like you are, like it means safety, love, and discipline. Like, and it means that learning safety is through discipline.
I think this is the, like, relating back to like my trauma And
Mhm.
like I grew up in a very conservative household, not politically, like
Right.
Christian, Catholic, Irish. Well, my dad's Irish, and so like all of these like strict rules and stuff, but also kind of distant from family, like no real
Right.
like no like none of that village for me to call on. I was saying earlier about like just thinking everyone else was probably suffering the same abuse I was, because like
Right.
I had many siblings, and so like they're all suffering the same abuse, so it makes sense that other kids are too. And this whole like if there's a village, if people are interacting and calling out the asshole abusers in our society, like that's really helpful, and letting victims see their like victimhood, like that being like it took me so long to recognize that I was a victim, because I just because like that's just the way life is, was my response. Like it didn't make sense to me that like I convinced myself I was doing something to earn being hit. Like
Right.
I messed up, I misbehaved, like it must be my fault. And then I carry that forward into other relationships, which is not great, because now I'm trying to make up for things I haven't, like I make a mistake and I assume I'm going to get the worst possible response, because that's what was modeled for me throughout my childhood. And then I try to I go into that.
This is the
that
same as
mode.
sexual abuse. It's the same thing. You're basically describing the same thing that happened to me, but in a different context. Is that your body's not sovereign, and for some reason that you deserve the thing that happened to you. Like there's something ultimately, and if you add religion onto that, it fucks with your brain. And
Yeah.
mine wasn't related to, luckily, to my parents. My parents, like I always say that like I had really good secure attachment when I in very, very early childhood. It was just that my parents didn't, once they found out that I had been abused, they didn't know what to do because they didn't have any of the tools. They had no tools. Like they did their best. Like they loved me, cared about me, and wanted me to be safe. But also, I'm not going to put the same expectations that of now onto my parents in like 1992. Like that's unrealistic, you know. And they're products of the 30s and 40s and 50s. So like my parents were born. My parents were born in the early 30s. And if I turned out somewhat okay, like I learned, but knowing that came through work. Like, you know, like I can recognize that they've been poisoned too, but I had enough secure attachment when I was very young to know that the world was safe. I just had to figure out where that was.
Where the safety is. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, like it's the like I didn't have that safety. Like and it's the problem with like having one parent who like really cares and is really loving and really kind and shit, because it's like, well, there's my safety, right? And then it's taken away because they're also just stepping back and allowing this stuff to happen. And so it's like whenever I have this sense of safety, and like this is what I was saying about like the forming friendships taking so long for me and stuff, is because I have to know that situation and that relationship is solid, and you aren't going to step back and allow harm to happen to me, because like again, that's what I experienced, that's what I went through, that's how I was shaped by my trauma. and recognizing that is also partly like making sure I don't do that to others, making sure that like I am the kind of person who's going, if I say I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be there. But like I have, again, like I have to have that work, I have to have that groundwork, I tell people very early on into like my friendships with them, like, hey, it's going to take a while to get to know me properly because I am very closed off. So
like, yeah, I mean, it took us a while to get to like this level, you know, and that took 2 years. 2 years, and especially over the past few months, it's just been like flooded.
The last few months have felt like years.
We bonded over trauma, but in a healthy way. So look at us being adults.
Yeah,
we're bonding over trauma, but it's not defining our relationship.
I think we've been bonding over trauma responses. And I think that's perfectly healthy. Like
I think
recognizing,
yeah, because I'm very concerned. I'm just like, oh, you have problems, like, because the thing is though, like everybody bleeds, but you don't get to bleed over everybody else. Like you have to put your own Band-Aid on. Like, I'm sorry, like mental illness is not your fault, but it is still your responsibility. I'm so sorry. And you're going through a thing. And I will support you if you're doing the healthy thing. If when my brother was an addict, I said if he wants to go to NA meetings, I will bring him. If he wants to go, if he asked me to make sure that on the night he wants to go to the bar, and I tell him no, this is not a good idea. These are the consequences. That relationship I can do. But I'm not going to be responsible for you not being able to take care of yourself.
Yeah, I think at times I give people. I think my wife would say this anyway, that I give people too much. I think I'm so cynical, but my wife tells me I'm not. I'm so ready to cut the cord with people when they mess up, and my wife's like, no, you don't do that. You give people chances. And I'm like, do I know?
Oh, I'm like, this is my line. And then they move my line. I'm like, no. And then I'm like, well, they're traumatized. This is me.
Yeah.
But that's this is the thing about being also polyamorous is that I'm I am so fucking particular. I'm so fucking particular that I'm I'll probably cut myself off way before this will go anywhere, because I'm just oh no. because I'm very particular about my space. I was with one couple that they thought we were all going to live together. And I was like, absolutely fucking not. No. I'm annoyed that when you come over and spend a couple of weekends a month, that you put your all your shit on top of my bathroom counter. You think we're going to live together? Fuck you. You are here to make me have orgasms and watch movies together and get high. And then I'm like, you want to have a love relationship? You're living, you have to achieve levels.
Are you the kind of person who?
I'm not gonna say it's not gonna happen, but it's just really hard.
Do you give people their toothbrushes back if they leave them in your bathroom? Do you ziplock them and take them back to them and go, you left this at mine?
No, because
okay.
Because also too, if you're a good lady, I'm kind of okay, I'm gonna put it in a plastic bag for you because I know you'll come back. But also if you're I don't want you, I'll just throw it away. Not.
Toothbrushes are disposable.
Fuck this guy. I'm not gonna take time to bring it back to you if you did not have any weighing upon my life.
Well. I was saying this to a friend earlier as well.
I can be a salty bitch sometimes.
I was saying this though as well of I'm fairly certain, because I'm poly, and I'm pretty sure it's because I had such a bad modeled relationship that the trappings. Logan.
Sandy, your friends. I don't know. Hello, new person. Welcome to my show.
But I think having a really unhealthy relationship modeled to me showed me the trappings of that. And like I said a minute ago, of if there were more adults in that space raising me that were modeling better, or watching movies that let me know, hey, actually this isn't acceptable, this isn't the kind of behavior that should be happening, having that level of harm in a relationship that was supposed to be so safe is like, yeah, no, for me, like, I just don't understand why anyone would ever want to be trapped in a singular relationship with one partner that they will rely on for everything. Like, I hope that you can talk to other people about me. I hope that you can have discussions about what's going wrong in our relationship with someone else so that you can have feedback. Like the amount of times I've wanted someone to like who I trust to just be like, hey, I'm the asshole here, right? Like, to just be like, yeah, they love me and they support me, and so they're going to be nice about it, but they're also going to tell me I'm an asshole if I'm an asshole, because that's the basis of that relationship.
Right.
And it's like, I maybe I'm wrong about monogamy, but I just cannot see that in monogamy, at least in nothing I've had modeled, you know.
As someone that is has been polyamorous all her life, but is just recently like really trying to like have polyamorous relationships because trust is a problem. Like my husband is like my core person, and I love my husband more than anybody else in the whole fucking planet. But this is the thing, I'm attracted to other people. I'm a slut, like not just like as physical slut, like an emotional slut. Like, and also there's some things that he like in friendship, like basically I'm gonna fuck my friends. That's what I want to do. He's my emotional partner, like ride or die. We're gonna live together. I can't live with anybody else. I probably maybe might be it would be a trial and error kind of thing. Like, hey, what level can we live together? Let's figure that out, because cool, like we may be really good for a good time, but like I'm like can your stuff exist with my stuff on a kitchen counter, like a bathroom counter, like can we share space, like where I'm okay with your stuff being here, that's not a toothbrush, like that's the difference. And there's a level of that in polyamory, like and like I have very intense like sexual attraction to my friends. I don't know, because we all flirt with each other, if it's mutual. Like I don't know, because I'm just like also autistic. Please.
Yeah.
Tell
yeah.
me if you are, because I will miss.
I watched the RFRX this week, and that was something that came up there, and it was like, I need eye contact, and I need you to tell me, like, I need it.
Like, I think you're hot. I want to bone you. Okay.
It's the accountability thing. Yeah. Use your words.
I don't do flirting. I don't know what flirting looks like, because I'm like, because if you say something to me like even benign, I'll be like, that's what she said, or I'll be like flood my basement, oh, do for mommy, do it.
I do the ooh woo.
Mommy, do it.
Yeah, I do ooh woo. Ooh woo.
Yeah, did you watch Hazbin Hotel?
No, but I've got friends who do. So.
He says this is like, I would like to have the sex with you.
But yeah,
I don't spoil it. I'm just gonna give you that hint, and if you watch it, you'll be like, oh, Helen told me that joke.
I do have a friend who's like nagged me to watch it, so I will eventually get around to it. But
it's difficult to move from more negotiable open mindedness, less certain. No. It is it's a dichotomy between having like this less certain like okay, you're like, but open-mindedness, like it's a dichotomy between the two. Like, not everything is certain, but I have to be open-minded that things could be certain. like, and I think that can be reflective in a lot of relationships if people there, especially if they're traumatized, like, I know this should be certain, like, you know, and I have to trust it, whether it's fear response or it's this need to wander, like whatever that looks like. It can be a combination of both, where you're seeking outside affirmation, you know, but it may not be a certain something that could be like, you know, a core understanding of like a core relationship. You know, it can be like two different dichotomies. And that was a very long path I went down. And I think I talked about as deep as a puddle. So, like, if that makes sense, great. Good for me. Did it make sense?
I think so. I was trying to.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm a philosopher. deep philosopher. When I'm high.
There was a minute ago when you were talking about polyamory a minute ago, and I turned over to I looked over at my wife, and she was looking back at me, just going, "Yep, that's it.
Okay,
that's
all
it."
right.
Yeah.
Cool. Listen, I'm gonna play an ad, and I'll be right back. So, cool. We'll be back.
What's up, y'all? Mandisa Thomas here, inviting you to BN's 2026 Revival of Reason in Atlanta, Georgia. From June 12th through the 14th, join us at the Atlanta Free Thought Hall and Pavilion, where we will be celebrating 15 years of Black non-believers with food, fun, serious discussions, live entertainment, and more. Speakers include Chris Cameron, Candace Gorham, Detroit Atheist Queen, The Friendly Atheist, Godless Engineer, Cynthia McDonald, yours truly, and more. Get your tickets today at blacknonbelievers.org or scan that QR code below. Also, you can book your room at our special group room rate at the Comfort Inn, Atlanta, Smyrna. Official BN members get a discount, so please make sure you become an official member today. Sponsorship opportunities are also available, as well as discounted student rates. Thank you so much for helping us celebrate 15 years as Black non-believers, and we will see you soon.
How's I on time? Was it good? Yay! I'm tapping my brakes better.
There was 3 or 4 seconds. I was about to grab a cat and show a cat on screen.
Oh, okay. Well, grabbing the cat is always good on the show. Like, actually, I might have you grab the cat right now because I have to pee. So, grab the cat. But okay, so like small interlude. Also, I'm going to remind everybody. In the meantime, my Cull's showing off the cat. I'm going to remind everybody to click on the QR code for our Black non-believers. Please, my goodness, please share also as well. Do that. Look at Kitty. Okay, I'm going to go pee. Talk about.
This is Pinot Noir, and he is a baby, and he thinks he's a puppy, and he's very cute and cuddly. And the other one would bite me if I did this. The other one is Stormy. He is orange. He is probably in the bed. Kisses? Yeah, kisses. Void kitty. He when he's back there, you can literally only see his eyes. He's called Pinot Noir because he was being fostered by a friend of ours. We house sat for them, or kitten sat for them. And then afterwards we were offered, like, the friend was like, "Oh, can I buy you some wine?" And we said no, but can we have one of the kittens, because he climbed up onto our lap when we went to feed him, and he didn't eat while we were there. He just sat with us and cuddled, which is probably why he's so cuddly now. You want to go in your flower? More kisses?
Baby. Look at baby. Oh, like I said that, and Catnips is looking at me now. What's a baby girl? My cat tree's right here, and Catnips never clean. So.
That's from a movie. From a book?
It's Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games.
Which was a book first, right? Not just a movie.
It was a book first. Yes. The books are very good. The new one's coming out. The new movie. I'm sorry, I'm a big fan. So, but
I can tell by the name.
I got very excited. No, actually, my husband's idea. He was like,
"Oh yeah."
This was like years ago. He was like, if we ever get a new cat, we're gonna have to name it Catnip's Never Clean. So, and he fell in love with her at a shelter, and now she's I also call her my great Gandalf because she's like this little tiny beard. So
he has a little vicar collar. He just has a little tuft of white.
Listen, you got to cuddle the babies. I have a biter too. She only lets me pet her.
He's getting better, R1. I actually think I gave our cat trauma. I used to play with a sock puppet, or not a sock puppet, like a hand puppet, and it's a little dinosaur, and I used to go and it used to like bite him, and used to like do little hand wrestles. And I think I abused him, and now he's scared of dinosaurs. But like honestly, if he sees a dinosaur in the wild, I want him to be scared of it. So,
to be fair, like, well, also if we entered Jurassic Park, something has gone terribly wrong. like I'm like, oh no, like what are we doing? Like did we not find the bones? How these motherfuckers, how big these motherfuckers were. Like, oh my goodness. Like, this is the thing, like, so you grew up Catholic. So did you have like any young earth creationism, or you were like me where God kind of pooped out the universe and things just kind of happened?
I went to Catholic primary school and then Catholic secondary school, and we learned real science. One of the biology teachers was he was a Franciscan monk, because it was like attached to the school I went to, and we used to we'd learn evolution from him and then go and learn Adam and Eve, and we're like, bruh, like what are we doing?
I had the religion class and science class. There were two separate classes, and like I remember my when I was in, I think it's second or third grade, where you have to make a diorama of like the solar system, and that was taught to me by a nun. And anyway, talked about like, you know, how the planets worked with like gravitational pull and like these basic like physics, science in second grade.
Yeah, a couple of 100 years ago, they would have been telling you that the sun was going around us. So,
like, that's the thing. Like that, I don't. That's it. Like, this is why I think my brother like can be like, I'm going to be a monk someday. Like, that was one of his plans, and also like love Star Trek. Like, I think that's how it happens. Because I'm like, you and I are having the same but different interpretation of this show. I'm like, did you watch season 2 of The Next Generation? Did you watch that? Because what? Anyway, sorry, that's about my childhood. Like, why am I the way that I am? Love science and also love vampires and monster fucking. So there's that. And I'm that's why I'm polyamorous. Like, I'm an equal opportunity. I'm an equal opportunity good time.
Sorry, the cat, he's so pretty.
I know, he's so cute. He's the best boy. Anyway, we've been at this for 2.5 hours. I'm going to go hang out with my family and actually eat some food, and maybe I want to watch The Labyrinth, so that might happen.
The Labyrinth is a good watch.
Yes, yeah. So I'm at that.
You said David Bowie earlier.
People like Maya. I need to be on your show. Like, I have to be on my show, and I have to go on your show, and we'll do a show exchange. Like, not one, but I want to go on your show when we're not going to talk about sad things. like we have to talk about like bad science, like not like sad things. So, and I want you to come on my show, and it'll be good times. So we'll do that. Okay, calling your show too. Like, this is what I do. We should all connect with each other. Hey, so Cull, for people to do that, how would they do that?
I am Cull the Atheist on places. I'm really mostly just on Discord though. There is a YouTube channel. I might be putting a video on there soon. Right now it just has comments that were deleted elsewhere on the internet. So yeah, you can look at those if you want. But yeah, Cull the Atheist. Reach out to me in Skeptic Haven is where I'm call screening currently. If you leave messages on one of those videos, it'll get back to me. At me on something.
Unless you say something mean, then I'm a mod, and I will be like, no. That's right.
No, that will still get back to me probably.
I'm like, you know what this motherfucker said? Also, that's the thing. Like, I love reading back comments because I'm just like, guess what this person said? It's so funny. Like, it's ridiculous. So anyway, thank you so much to our friend Cull for being here. Again, I'm going to remind everybody to be here tomorrow. Our wonderful friend Cosmic Kyle is going to be here tomorrow night. We're going to talk about space science and finding a place in secular communities. So we're going to talk about that. And then on Sunday, I have two interviews with Leonard. I'm forgetting his last name because I have to look it up. But somebody that's speaking at Black and Non-Believers and Heaven Meta's going to be here as well. I have one at 1 p.m. Eastern, and the next one will be at 5 p.m. I'm going to make thumbnails for those tomorrow. So those will be up. Please do that. If you would like to be on the show, please contact me somewhere. And just put in Helen Green, Hell's Bells, Freethinker Fireside. You'll find me. Just do the thing. Also over here,
click on this.
a reminder, QR code. Touch it for mommy. Touch it. It's going to like it. Cull, touch it. Touch the QR code.
There, I got it.
Okay,
I got
do that. And you're going to donate to Black Non-Believers. And so, because it is 15 years that we're going to do 50K. Also, I will be live streaming at the event. You get to see all the talks. You will get to, I'm going to do interviews with the presenters that are going to be talking. I'm going to be on 3 panels. Also as well, I will have like special paywalls. If you want to see John Gleason, Gaullist Engineer rap with backup dancers, that's going to be a thing, but it'll be a paywall. So if you want to be a part of that, you're going to have to donate and turn to a live stream. And while we're in Atlanta next weekend, January 12th to the 14th in Atlanta, Georgia, I will have links up in somewhere between now and then to do the thing. So that's what we're going to do. Thank you so much for Cull for being here and being an awesome human. And this was a really good conversation. It's one of the conversations that I could talk about for hours, but I'm hungry.
We did 2 hours.
We did 2.5 hours. Like, we have earned our penance. Good night, everybody. Stay kind, stay skeptical, give someone a compliment, and I will see you here tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. Bye.